Who's your favorite pit master's favorite pit master?
All right, so we are doing a leg lamb shank portion today. Saw this at the local Publix. Have not done one of these since 2020. Yeah, it's been almost 4 years since I was in UAE. All right, we are humming right at 250 degrees on the Weber Smoky Mountain. Let's go ahead and get the cracked on this thing, seasoned up, and then on the smoker. I got it seasoned up. All right, we hit all sides of this thing. Okay, so I'm pretty much going to be cooking this just like I do a brisket, except the main difference is that there is no connective tissue in this thing. Well, there's not that there's no, but there's not a lot of connective tissue, and that's what you end up getting with a brisket, that stall, and that's what you're looking for the stall to help break down, is that connective tissue, that collagen, so that it can turn into, so that it can liquefy and moisten the meat. Well, you don't have a lot of that connective tissue in this lamb shank, so essentially what you're just looking to do is get this thing up to temperature, about 145 degrees. I'll go ahead and get it taken off probably at about 135, maybe 125, and let it rest. Because it's such a thick cut of meat, it will continue to rise a little bit, that carryover temperature, that carryover cooking. And then while it's doing that, I'm gonna go ahead, I'll come down, I'll get the coals kicked up down here at the bottom of the Smoky Mountain, so that we can get it, so that we can come back and sear this thing off, because we're gonna be doing a reverse sear on this lamb shank. All right, we'll be back in probably 20-30 minutes so we can see how it looks about 30 minutes into the cook. All right, so we're at about 225. I think we're gonna open those bottom vents up a little bit, but I'd say that is looking pretty good. Yes sir, yes sir. All right, let's go ahead and put the lid back on, and we're gonna let this thing keep going. All right, so I got my handy dandy thermopan. If you guys have not bought one of these already, make sure you do. They're not, I'm not gonna say they're low pricey. I think it's $100 per pan. It's the MK4. All right, I got a link to this down in the description of my video. Speaking of that, if you have not already, go ahead and thumbs up the video. Make sure you subscribe. All right, I am in school right now, so I'm having a lot of trouble uploading as much as I was normally uploading before school, but I'll be right back at it when I graduate here in June. Fingers crossed. All right, but you guys go ahead and check out the link in the description below for this thermopan. Absolutely love them. You get an accurate temperature inside of 2 seconds. All right, let's go ahead and temp this thing and see how we're looking, because that is just, wow, that is pretty. All right, let's see what we're looking at. All right, 128. Okay, and the cool thing about it is if I come all the way over, you see how the thermopan just rotates depending on the orientation of the actual device. Absolutely love this thing, you guys. Let's check another part just to be sure. 128. Yeah, I say this is looking pretty good. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pull this lamb shank off. We're gonna go ahead and set it to the side. It's a little bit earlier than what I was anticipating, but that's all right. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. We'll let the coals sit for a little while. I got the vents closed off a little bit, all right, but not all of the way. I don't have them closed all of the way. We're gonna go ahead and pull this off, and then as probably about 20 or 30 minutes or so, we'll start working on the sides and what we're gonna be eating with the lamb shank tonight. And then I'll crank the temperature up on these coals, and we'll bring the lamb shank back out and sear it off for our reverse sear. All right, let's stick around. So you guys will notice I did set it upside down on this pan. That was intentional. Essentially what I want to do is, because this is the hotter portion of the lamb shank, because it was the part facing the coals. While it's probably not a huge temperature difference between the top and the bottom, I expect that the heat, the carryover temperature, will be less if I have the hotter part of the lamb shank facing up, okay, instead of down, so that the heat has to carry through the entire lamb shank in order to escape the protein. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing inside, and we'll get our sides ready for while we're cooking. Then we'll bring it back out and sear it off. We got the pup over there in the corner, just kind of hanging out, doing this thing. Crimson, what's up, buddy? Yeah, he's outside doing his thing. We're gonna let him be. You know what, now that I got this inside, let's go ahead and temp the top and the bottom to see if there's actually a difference. All right, so we're at, oh wow, 140 down below. And 147. All right, so I was right. The top portion of this thing, or I'm sorry, the portion of this thing that was actually facing the heat is a little bit hotter by about 5 degrees. So glad that I put the hotter portion up top. All right, and any carryover temperature will be less while it's sitting in the oven. I'm not going to cover this thing, but the carryover temperature will be less because the heat from this portion of the shank is not going to travel through the entire thing. All right, let's go ahead and stick it in the oven, and we'll go ahead and get our coals kicked up while we're getting our sides prepped. Let's go ahead and throw our grill grate on, and while that's warming up, it's just a barbecue fan. You twirl the handle and it blows air into the grate so you don't get lightheaded and pass out onto the coals. All right, so now that we got our coals blazing, let's go ahead and grab our lamb, and we will get that seared off. For like I said, we're doing a reverse sear. It's been sitting for about 1.5 hours in the oven. Let's go ahead and set it on our coals. Now here's the deal. We're not gonna walk away from this, because this is only gonna be about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes each side. All right. We're gonna sear it off. We've already got it smoked. It cooked to 100, and I think in some parts it was 148, and then the low parts it was 142, right? So at this point, we're just getting a nice char on the outside. As you can see, the meat started to pull back from the bone. We got the bottom that's going on the grills first. All right. At this point, we're just looking for that char on the outside, and that'll contrast the smoky flavor on the inside. All right. Smells pretty good. Let's go ahead and flip it over. Got that nice sizzle. It's talking to me. It's talking to me. I wish you guys could smell it. Lamb smells absolutely amazing. Lamb fat, it is extremely flammable, but the amount of flavor that is in lamb fat simply cannot be beat. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and let this sit for a couple of seconds, and then we'll get it pulled off and take it inside. All right, so it's been going for a couple of minutes. Let's see what the bottom looks like. Oh yeah, that's looking real good. I think I'm gonna flip it one more time. Yeah, that looks real good. That looks amazing. I don't even know if I'm gonna let the family have any of this. One of the things that you can do when you cut this bad boy up is you can always then slice it and then throw it back on the grill to get some of that flavor. Hit it with a little bit of seasoning, and then you can throw it back on the grill to get some char on the inside of the roast as well. You can do that with basically any steak, any red meat. Then slice it, take those slices, keep your grill hot, and then throw it back on the grill to char it off. With this, I'll probably just treat it kind of like a prime rib. Once we slice it, it'll go straight on the plate. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing pulled off the grill and inside to get cut up. All right, we got it inside. Let's go ahead and get it on the cutting board. And that first cut is always, I don't know, it's like Christmas. I'm not gonna try to cut the bone out. All right, Yeah, that looks good though. That looks real good. Yeah, we got those juices flowing. All right. All right. Like I said, kind of treat it like a prime rib. Let's see what that taste test is talking about. That is a perfectly cooked lamb. If you have any questions about how to cook a lamb shank, check out this video, recommend this video to friends. It's a great alternative for the holidays, Christmas, New Year's, all right? If you guys haven't already, go ahead and thumbs up the video, all right? Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video here on the channel. I cannot promise when that'll be. I'm in school right now, so I appreciate you guys' patience, but in a couple of months, we're gonna start uploading regularly again, all right? I'm gonna start trying this new thing out with shorts. So check out my Instagram page. I'll get a little bit more active on there. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.